Good day and welcome to another edition of Citizens Movement Radio News. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd of April 2026. I'm Ketue Chuma, ready to bring you the latest news and updates. Here are today's headlines on Citizens Movement Radio News. Chibaya speaks on plans to suspend elections as he warns Mnangagwa that he is driving the nation towards a wrong path. Mnangagwa dragged to court over removal of Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission boss. Chibaya and Chiboi attend court to demand fresh CAP 3 public hearings. Now let's take a look at our stories in detail. The opposition has warned against a proposed unity government involving ZANU-PF puppet Sengezo Tshabangu and Emmerson Mnangagwa. This comes after statements by self-proclaimed CCC leader Sengezo Tshabangu that he is pushing for an inclusive government that will postpone elections to 2035. One of the senior officials in the opposition, Honorable Amos Chibaya, warned that such a move will cause public unrest and drive the nation towards a wrong path. Pro-democracy activist Alan Chiboi has dragged ZANU-PF leader Emmerson Mnangagwa to the Constitutional Court over the removal of Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission chairperson Jessie Majombe from her post. Chiboi, through his lawyers, wants Mnangagwa to rescind his decision, arguing that it is unconstitutional. Majombe was removed from her post after criticizing the CAP 3 public hearings as violent. In a separate court case, Alan Chiboi and former Mkoba North MP Amos Chibaya were at the High Court today seeking to stop Parliament from proceeding with debating on CAP 3. The duo want the High Court to order Parliament to conduct fresh and inclusive public hearings. This follows shambolic and violent public hearings held recently where citizens did not get a chance to air their views on the bill. We spoke to Chiboi and he had this to say.
Well, as you might be aware, we challenged the public consultative processes that were conducted by Parliament in relation to the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3, where it can be agreed upon as a matter of fact and evidence that there was violence. It was something that was pre-orchestrated, as those who were conducting the processes ended up picking people that they actually knew were going to say something in support of that particular bill. And in that particular regard, we've managed to appear before the High Court where we were arguing our case. And in a separate application that we've made to the High Court, we are challenging the decision by the President of the Republic of reassigning, as he said it, the former chairperson of the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission, Mrs. Jessie Fungai Majombe, who has been moved from being the chairperson of the Human Rights Commission to become a commissioner in the public service. We noted that is a total disregard of the provisions of the law, as the Constitution clearly stipulates the ways upon which a commissioner from the independent commission should be removed from that from any commission. The Constitution doesn't at any point mention the issue of reassigning the commissioners. That's what we have been challenging before the Court of Law, and particularly in regards to this case of the assignment of Jessie Majombe, we are yet to be finished with the date upon which we will be appearing before the court.
Zimbabweans living in the diaspora from different organizations held another protest outside the Zimbabwean embassy in London and handed over a petition at the UK Prime Minister's offices at 10 Downing Street. The petition presented spoke on the dangers of Cap 3 and bore signatures of citizens who are against Cap 3. We spoke to one of the leaders of the protest, Dixon Chikwizo, to give us more details.
Manheru akanaka takawa nenguva yakanaka patakaenda kunoratidzira kuembassy yekumusha kwedu Zimbabwe Embassy nekuzonoenda petition kuna Prime Minister wemuno munyika yeBritain muzuva nezuro 21 April. Mupetition yedu tanga tiri kuratidza kunyunyuta kwedu tichisanganisa nyunyuto yakaratidzwa kuHouse of Lords pavakadhibheta muHansard debate yavo. Izvo zvakataurwa nemazvo kuonesa kushungurudzwa kurikuitwa vanhu vari kupikisa Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 iri kuda kuitwa navaMnangagwa kuti varambe varipo kusvika 2030 zvichienda mberi. Izvozvo mupetition zvekare takasanganisa kuti makore 46 ese independence vanhu vemuZimbabwe havasi kuenjoya mafruits independence. Independent yakauya hungu kushungurudzika kwatiri kuitwa uye vanhu kutambura kwavari kuita nenzara zvichionesa uwandu hwevanhu weZimbabwe wakabuda wakaenda kunze kwenyika kuratidza kutambudzika ikoko. Izvozvo zvese zvichemo zvakanyoreka zvatakaisa mupetition tobva tazvikombera nekuti Zimbabwe yakwenda kumawere kunova utongi hweudzvinyiriri zvichisanganisa nekusandura kwavari kuita bumbiro remutemo rinova bumbiro rakawiriranwa nevanhu vakavhota vanosvika 94% weZimbabwe. Ende iye zvino izvi takazviratidza zvakare kuti vanhu vari kupikisa kusandura uku vari kurohwa, vamwe vacho vari kubva varambidzwa kutaura. Zvese izvozvo takazvinyora muzvichemo tichiti bumbiro redu iro ratakawirirana muna 2013 harifaniri kusandurwa nevanhu washomanana. Kana vada kusandura zvinodzorerwa kuvanhu ngekuti zvakawirirana nevanhu. Mukupedzesera tichitarisa zvichiitiko ichi takaratidzira kuembassy zvakabudirira ngekuti kubudirira kwedu takazviona. Umwe mushandi wekuembassy akada kuuya achitiita kuti tisaratidzire asi haana kubudirira. Takaramba tichiratidzira ngekuti takabva tamutsanangurira kuti zvatiri kuita pano tiri kumirira ruzhinji rweZimbabwe, tiri kumirira ruzhinji rwedu vamwe vasiri kukwanisa kutaura zvido zvavo. Takava nenguva inotisimudzira tichibatana nevaya neratidziro yakaitwa musi wa 18 April. Ratidziro iyi yemusi wa 18 April neratidziro yatakaita nezuro musi wa 21 April chiitiko chimwe chete chiri kuratidza zvido zvedu isusu maZimbabweans. Zvese tiri kuzvibatanidza tichionesa kuchema kwedu kupasi kuvanhu vese nedzimwe nyika kuti vazive kuti zviri kuitika munyika yedu hazvisi kufadza ruzhinji. Nekudaro tanga tiri kukumbirawo rubetsero runoita kuti zviri kuda kuitwa zvokusandura mutemo wedu wenyika zvisaitike. Ende tiri kupa chemo ichi tichionesa zvekare chimiro chemachanges acho avari kuda kuita mukusandura izvozvo zvese tiri kuti takabudirira kuita kwedu ende ticharamba tichiratidzira ticharamba tichionesa kunyunyuta kwedu nekutyorwa kwebumbiro redu remutemo nevanhu veZANU-PF.
Community-based organizations have condemned the recently held public hearings for Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 as violent. The organizations coalescing under Alliance Community-Based Organizations, ACBOs, released a statement on Monday. The organization said the hearings were not done in a democratic manner, as most citizens were denied an opportunity to air their views at various centers across the country. Defend the Constitution platform DCP has called for solidarity with their youth convener Emmanuel Sitima as he attends court tomorrow together with student activist Takunda Muka. The call was made by DCP Labour Desk official Obet Masaraure. The duo are facing trumped-up charges of malicious damage to property. Let's hear Masaraure speaking.
The youth coordinator of the Defend the Constitution platform, Comrade Emmanuel Sitima, together with the Takunda Muka, will be appearing in court on the 24th of April, Mbare Magistrate Court at 8:30. They are facing charges of malicious damage to property which is worth $10 according to state papers, but which is just a window pane, which is worth around $3. They were denied bail by the Mbare Magistrate Court, Dennis Mangosi, who is also withholding their record, the court record, which they are supposed to be using to appeal his decision at the High Court. We are urging Zimbabweans to stand in solidarity with these revolutionaries. Their only crime is to stand tall against the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. They are being punished for having been seen at Rari City Sports Center where they were boldly rejecting the amendment bill. So we call upon all citizens to throng Mbare Magistrate Court and stand with Emmanuel Sitima and with the Takunda Muka. It is very clear that there is political interference. A case of malicious damage of property which was supposed to be handled by Waterforce Police is now being handled by Aral Law and Order, which has no business whatsoever to be handling a case of basic breaking of a small window pane at the kitchen of a youth leader of ZANU-PF. So we need to be standing there for each other in these moments and show the regime that as a people we are united and we are stronger together, and we have to continue with the work that Takunda and Emmanuel Sitima were doing, the work of rejecting the amendment bill number 3, the work of standing tall against the manipulation of our constitution by the ZANU-PF regime. So let's see you at the Mbare Magistrate Court on the 24th of April, standing solidarity with our comrades.
The strikes by nurses across the country enter their third day today. The nurses downed tools demanding better pay and working conditions. Our Citizens Movement Radio News reporter sent in this latest update.
Today marks the third day of nationwide nurses strike called by the Zimbabwe Nurses Association, ZINA, running April 20 to 22, 2026. Nurses across the country downed tools at central, provincial, and district hospitals, clinics, and health centers. Day 3 today, no major new developments have been officially reported. Nurses across the country have largely supported the strike with strong participation, though turnout was uneven in a few areas due to reported intimidation, which the association has strongly condemned. Several provincial hospitals, particularly in Matabeleland South, Mashonaland Central, and Masvingo, also showed encouraging engagement. However, participation has been uneven with limited turnout at Victoria, Chitepo, and Marondera provincial hospitals. Well, Gweru and Chinoi provincial hospitals failed to meaningfully participate due to reported intimidation. The strike is still scheduled to end today unless ZINA extends it. In solidarity with the Zimbabwe Nurses strike, the Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union, ATUZ, red salutes the nurses in Zimbabwe who continue to show even when it is not fashionable to do so. Atuz recognized that the struggle of nurses is not isolated. It is the lived reality of every working Zimbabwean, from classrooms to hospital wards, from rural outposts to urban centers. Workers are trapped in a system that demands maximum sacrifice while offering minimum dignity. The conditions confronting nurses today mirror the daily suffering of teachers: poverty wages, chronic underfunding, lack of basic resources, and a persistent erosion of professional dignity. It is both immoral and unjust that those entrusted with preserving life are forced to fight for survival. Nurses have been pushed to the edge by a government that offers token increments which do not even cover the cost of transport to work. This is not a negotiation, it is exploitation masked as governance. Atuz made the following demands that are: an immediate and meaningful salary review that restores the dignity of nurses and all civil servants, the provision of adequate working tools, medical supplies, and safe working environments, full respect for collective bargaining agreements, and an end to empty promises. The introduction of sustainable allowances that address transport, housing, and cost of living realities. An end to intimidation, threats, or victimization of workers. You do not stand alone. The teaching fraternity and indeed all progressive forces stand firmly with you. Atuz's message to the government is: you cannot silence a hungry worker, nor can you govern a nation whose backbone you continue to break. The time for cosmetic solutions is over. The time for justice is now. Atuz further calls upon all workers, trade unions, students, and citizens to unite in defense of dignity, fairness, and social justice. An injury to one is an injury to all. In a related story, the president of the Progressive Teachers Union of Zimbabwe, Dr. Takavafira Joe, said teachers in Zimbabwe have threatened to go on strike when schools open, citing dissatisfaction with a salary review conducted by the Public Service Commission without their involvement. Joe further said the lack of consultation undermines teachers, stressing that any decision affecting educators should involve them. He adds that teachers feel their dignity has been eroded over time, calling on authorities to act swiftly to restore confidence and avert disruption in the education sector. It's me, Lemton Mwanaka, reporting for Citizens Movement Radio News, CMR.
Yesterday, ex-convict Wicknell Chivayo announced that he is withdrawing his US $3.5 million offer to Parliament after receiving criticism from the ZANU-PF Youth League. Chivayo, however, said he will increase the money to $5 million and channel it towards ZANU-PF. One of the officials in the opposition, Sam Kondongwe, said it defies logic that Chivayo is splashing big on a political party while the country's health sector is in a comatose state due to the nurses' strike over poor salaries. Kondongwe said,
we applaud the Youth League because they saw it correct and they've acted as humans. They've got human heart. They have seen the light at the end of their tunnel. That if they allow this CAP 3 to proceed and see the light of the day, then it means Zimbabwe will be a one-party state and all the democratic spaces will be closed forever. So we applaud the ZANU-PF Youth League for this gesture that they've done. They've shown Chivayo that they can also reason. So, but however, Chivayo said he will increase the money to $5 million and channel it towards the same ZANU-PF people so that they will end up agreeing. You will give them money until they say yes to Camp 3. We are saddened because it defies logic that Chivayo is splashing big on political party ZANU-PF while the country's health sector is in comatose due to nurses' strike over poor salaries. And you know, the health sector is in tatters. It is at its low, and the nurses are they are correct in doing their strikes because they've got nothing to use in hospitals, no tablets, no materials, no nothing, no beds, you know, not even injections, not even if a person comes in hospital, he wants to be resuscitated, no oxygen, no nothing, and the nurses are watching people die from diseases that are not supposed to be killing people, but because of the situation that we are in this nation, where our leaders, instead of them looking at the health sector, they are busy prioritizing power retention and making Zimbabwe a one-party state, and so that they can keep on looting and, you know, doing their corrupt activities, so that they become untouchables, like how Chivayo is now. We really need new leaders who can come and put Zimbabwe on the map and remove all the corrupt people in leadership positions.
Meanwhile, in another development, ZANU-PF Youth League Secretary Tino Machakaire issued a strong worded statement yesterday condemning businessman Kudakwa Chetakwirei for allegedly dishing out stands in Mandara to MPs so they can vote in support of Camp 3. Machakaire warned that such a move degrades parliament into a personal institution instead of one of the three pillars of the state. Convicted notorious robber and murderer Daniel Munyanyi, who is aged 50, has been sentenced to an effective 185 years in prison. Munyanyi received an additional 36 years this week following conviction on new counts of armed robbery. His convictions are now over 30 counts, including murder, unlawful entry, and theft. The U.S. has announced the extension of its ceasefire ultimatum with Iran, saying they want to give Iran more time to make a decision. Al Jazeera reports that Iran is concerned about the U.S.'s continued blockage of the Strait of Hormuz. The report says Iran sees the U.S.'s continued blockade of the Strait of Hormuz as an act of aggression. In our sports news, in an English Premier League match played last night, Brighton embarrassed Chelsea by walloping them 3-0 at the Amex. Brighton got their goals from Fedi Kadioglu, Jim Hinshelwood and veteran striker Dan Welbeck. The result moves Brighton above Chelsea into 6th place with only 4 games left to play. Meanwhile, 2016 Premier League champions Leicester City were relegated from the Championship to League One after drawing 2-2 with Hull City last night. To conclude our Citizens Movement radio news, here are the headlines once more. Chibaya speaks on plans to suspend elections as he warns Mnangagwa that he is driving the nation towards a wrong path. Mnangagwa dragged to court over removal of Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission boss. Chibaya and Chiboyi attend court to demand fresh Camp 3 public hearings. This is the end of our bulletin. Good day.